Welcome back to Pokémon Stadium. Today we're finishing the Gym Leader Castle, and here's Giovanni.
Apparently.
Apparently.
They forgot one N. Did Cortex stole it to slash it on his forehead?
And yes, and yes, in Sujimori's original art, he draws him in the shadows because he's mysterious and shit.
Also, one of his trainers is called Trainer Cool.
Cool Trainer. It's because, well, that's the thing. That's one of the typical characters we meet in Pokemon games. They're cool trainers. Like there's a male one and a female one. So.
Okay, it might be called differently in my country because I never heard of this variant.
Well, it's because I guess cool trainer in translated in Italian doesn't sound as good. I don't know.
I wonder if those are the trainers that would later go on to be called the Ace trainers.
I love how this rocket trainer named this Pokemon Golbacked 1, Catattack 2, Paract 3, Moltract 4, Drioact 5, and Sectat 6. Interesting names.
Very interesting.
Alright, so Giovanni's gym is, as you can see, it doesn't particularly have a unique, aside from of course having the Earth badge in there in the background. It's not like in Koga where there's like a poison waterfall. Now in this particular one is a bit more forgettable in terms of its look. Then again, it's an Earth gym. I guess there's not that much you can do in terms of an interesting background for something like this. Because even in Pokemon Red and Blue, the Viridian gym didn't have a particularly unique gimmick to it. So.
Okay, so I was right. The trainer known as Cool Trainer would later go on to be known as the Ace trainers.
Well, there you go then.
Okay, it kind of makes sense because in my country instead there is a sort of a portmanteau between the word that forms the word fantastic trainer, as in trainer with a fantastic record.
No, I understand that because, for example, over here in my country, Spider-Man is not known as the amazing Spider-Man, he's known as the fantastic Spider-Man. That's because in Portuguese language there's no equivalent for the word amazing, so we had to go with a different one. So
fantastic, I guess, is a good enough synonym.
That's what the Mark
Webb. What do you call the Fantastic Four?
The Fantastic Four. Specifically, well, okay. Technically, what we call them is the Fantastic Quartet. That's what we usually call them over here.
Oh, are they a band over there?
Well, that's the thing. The word quartet over here can also stand for a group of 4 people.
Now I can imagine Jack Kirby having to
draw a quartet always
in a barber.
Well, there you go.
Uniform.
Well, there you go then.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the hottest new brand band in New York City, the Fantastic Four.
Hey, still.
It's a good thing Goldbutt is actually, holding.
Hey.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well,
there we go. Yep.
Well, they're still better than Fant 4-stick.
Honestly, TRS is a good point. Why was Golbat holding it in?
Because it looks ugly, like it doesn't close his mouth.
To be fair, Golbat kind of always looked ugly. That's kind of how it is.
This is why Crobat is a genuine improvement.
Yeah, but until you look at its teeth, it's like...
Alright, so we took down the rocket. Let's go straight to Giovanni. And yeah, his selection is fair. Yeah, ground Pokemon. He has a Persian as a reference to the... Yeah, he has a Persian as an reference to the anime, but he has a Tauros, which again reference to the first movie most likely. So.
And the other are the Pokemon that he has in game.
I'm trying to remember if he always had a Persian. I'm pretty sure he did have one by Yellow, but I'm trying to remember if he had one in Red and Blue.
No, in Red and Blue.
It was only an anime.
Yeah,
it was an anime thing because they wanted to make him a parallel to the Spectre leader from James Bond, Cat and everything.
Yeah, in Red and Blue, Jove, in the original Red and Blue, he only had ground Pokemon, but later in Pokemon Yellow, like you said, to as a tie-in to the anime, they gave him a Persian as well.
Why is Tauros so tiny?
In the manga, they gave him what shelters evolved for? Cloyster and Beedrill.
What did you ask to? Could you repeat?
Why was Tauros so tiny?
Like,
look at that. Persian looks bigger than Tauros was.
Does it? I don't know. I think Tauros looked fine.
No. Yeah, no. I mean, I honestly feel like Tauros was fine size enough. Also. You're totally using Mewtwo against Giovanni on purpose, aren't you?
Yes.
No, just because it's busted, Joe.
But I mean, come on, Tio. The extra karma and irony.
Man, as you can see, the opponents in the stadium are very toxic. trigger happy.
Imagine.
Gotta get those debuffs in.
Oh, now you do a critical hit. Like,
Mewtwo
Oh
has a mind of
Jesus,
his
the
own.
kid is dead.
there you go.
Yes. These death animations, man. Well, okay, knockout animations, but still.
Again, I really get the feeling that.
Oh, not a queen! Don't go shaking those.
An animation of Nido Queen shaking her.
Again, like I said,
Yes.
I really get the feeling that the animators, again, they really put a lot of time and effort in the animations because they knew that this was going to be the big selling gimmick. You know, you get to see all the Pokemon looking really cool and animated in 3D. And
You know, figures, why we never got any of the newfangled forms like, you know, Mega Evolution, Dynamax, Gigantamax, or anything for Nidoking or Nidoqueen? They seem to be fitting with that, but they never did anything with them.
Yeah.
and that's Viridian Gem clear.
So I guess
I'm
it is-
surprised that Tyranitar.
Alright, so we see the key from Giovanni and open the gate to the last castle.
Let me guess, Elite Four.
Well, no crap. Again, this is basically us going through all the opponents of the campaign from Gen 1, basically.
Whoa. What's wrong with Akata's hair?
Agatha.
Agatha. Well, remember
Christ, she's grown it out.
well, remember,
I think he's just
like I said,
super
Teo, this is Sujimori's original art, like we've checked in the Wikipedia the last time. So
That's the thing, though. Her hair looks way bigger than it did in Gen 1.
well, again, it's kind of like how we talked about the way some of the other characters look. Between Sujimori's original art and the way they actually look in the game, something clearly was changed. Basically.
When they showed off Blaine in this, did they use his Dr. Eggman-like appearance
Yes.
or his beta design?
No, they used this Dr. Eggman design.
Yeah, okay. Because, like, in case you're wondering why he looks so different in the anime, it's because they were working off his beta stuff.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's like we've talked about, like when we checked when we were talking about Sabrina in the previous part, and I actually went to Wikipedia and checked that yes, that is the official artwork that Sujimori originally made for Sabrina. Again, it's clear that Sujimori's original art was not quite left in and got slightly changes for the actual in-game sprites. But however, for this game, they kept the original art because why not? Go on.
I will say this, it's a bit of a shame that they don't have more story bits to this game here and there, because honestly, I mean, you know, throw in some dialogue and you've got the makings of a relatively solid RPG campaign.
That's what Colosseum does, Jova. The thing is, the first two games of this kind, although to be fair, the GameCube games were made by a different developer than this. It's one of those things, Jova, where just the fact that we could play our Pokemon from the Game Boy games into 3D, that alone made it a selling gimmick at the time. You know?
True. You know, equal times have changed and whatnot, so that's fair.
It's
and people said, this was like, when are we going to get a 3D Pokemon game? When are we going to get a 3D Pokemon game?
Yeah, let's not get into that now.
Come on,
Oh, snap!
some of it was good.
Yes, it was.
I'm not. What I mean is, now everyone is saying it should have gone 3D.
No, you said monkey's paw. I didn't give it any quality.
Alright. Let's try not
Anyway,
to.
It doesn't elaborate leaves.
Anyway, Jinx just got flipping
Yes.
melted down to her hair. What the hell?
Bitch, shut up.
I really, that being said, I really like the animations, to be honest. They give the game a lot of personality. Again, like,
Yeah, definitely. Like, the animations tell half the story themselves.
like it's one of those things where, like, again, there's just something about doing Pokemon battles with these animations and Ted Lewis's narration that really gives it an extra amount of charm to me.
I can totally get the appeal. Like, you know, you go back in the day, I never got to get any of these games, but the little times I did get to play, like, Colosseum, no, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, Colosseum is
Pokemon battle in that, guys.
Yeah, that's the thing. And here's Bruno. And like I said, Bruno pretty much looks exactly like how he ended up looking finally in the game. Again, looks pretty much on point. So yeah, clearly there weren't that many changes to Bruno from the original art to the final game.
Saves his fighting type. Half of his team are Onyx.
And he has a Golem and a Rhydon in this.
Soul Silver.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh, you could have given a Primate Hell Laboratory, but whatever. But anyway,
I'm wondering if he was originally supposed to be like an Earth-type user.
Ground.
Ground, yeah.
Isn't Giovanni supposed to be the ground trainer?
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's literally his name, Geo.
I'm not gonna get into that. The basic point is, basically, Joe, but that's what they do with Coliseum. In Coliseum, they created a whole new story mode specifically. That's that even has a whole new mechanic called the Shadow Pokemon, where you steal Pokemon from other trainers. However, I will say that when it comes to the actual Coliseum mode of Pokemon Coliseum, which was meant to be a successor to Stadium 1 and Stadium 2, yeah, unfortunately the actual Coliseum part of Pokemon Coliseum wasn't quite as robust as the Stadium games. It didn't have mini-games, it didn't have an ability to play, it didn't have a feature to play gen-free games in your GameCube like the Stadium 1 and 2 did. Don't get me wrong, it's fine, but yeah. Well, yeah, probably because they wanted to sell the Game Boy player. That being said, well, remember, Dulibs, well, actually no, Dulibs, I'm gonna contest that, because remember, the Game Boy player can play every single Game Boy game on your GameCube, whereas supposedly the idea for Coliseum would be to just play the Pokemon games, not all Game Boy games, just the Pokemon ones. So technically, they could have implemented that feature in Coliseum without cannibalizing sales of the Game Boy player, technically. Well, was it? Yeah. So yeah, I will say, don't get me wrong, I love the story mode of Pokemon Coliseum, but the actual Coliseum mode of it, which was supposedly meant to be a successor to the Stadium games, wasn't quite as good. Not really. Like I said, no mini games. Okay, a lot of the features from Stadium. Yeah, it didn't. It was fine. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, it didn't really live up to the standards that Pokemon Stadium 2 set. Not really. But that being said, the story mode more than makes up for it. Like I said, it makes up for it by having a really cool story mode that tries something different from all the other Pokemon campaigns.
Anyway, time to do a Agatha.
Yes, and she has Muck, even though she's supposed to be a ghost trainer.
Ghost type, yeah. What the heck is Muck doing here?
I guess it's because
they only had one ghost type, so they had to work with what they had.
Yeah, I guess you couldn't just.
I could have sworn she had more ghost types. Then again, okay.
Well, remember, Joe.
Maybe I'm thinking of Yellow.
Two Hunter and a Gengar.
Yeah, in Gen 1, she had two Hunters and a Gengar, and the other Pokemon, if I remember correctly, I think it was. I actually forgot what were the others, but I'm
poison type, yeah, so I do remember that the other two people, but that's because Gengar and Hunter are, ghost poison.
The truth of the matter is that
Go ahead and check.
Gen 1 only had Ghastly, Hunter, and Gengar as ghost Pokemon, so it's not like there's that much you can do, really, like Teo said.
Let's see,
that reminds me, I want to show you guys this funny official image of Agatha.
Okay, anyway, so in Red and Blue, she had two Gengars, a Haunter, Arbok, and Golbat.
Well, there you go.
She didn't have a Muck, though. However, let's see, in Pokemon Yellow, she had, the same team.
So there you go, then.
In fact, they even brought back her same team for Fire Red and Leaf Green, even though by that point, I'm pretty sure we did have more ghost types, but, dedication and all that.
Indeed.
That being said, she does get a rematch fight in that game where this time she has a Gengar, a Crobat, a Misdreavus, another Gengar, and Arbok. So I guess there was another ghost type added there.
So yeah, the Elite Four castle works exactly like how the Elite Four, how the Pokemon League works in the original games. You have to beat the entire Elite Four plus your rival in one go. If you lose, it's back to Lorelei.
Anyway, for Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, she had an Arbok, two Gengars, a Golbat, and a Weezing. But for the rematch, she throws in a Marowak, and a Alolan one to be precise.
Yeah, see, I like this animation from Kangaskhan, where the child jumps on top of the mom's head.
It's interesting given how the Mega Evolution of Kangaskhan would kind of take inspiration from that.
Oh, Jesus! that animation felt like...
the mother, and the baby fell out.
Because separating families is a bad thing.
It looks like someone doesn't like parental bonds.
Before anyone says anything, it's a reference from an Asterix movie.
Keep in mind, Tio, the baby literally just fell out of its mother's pocket, so...
Doesn't matter, strange.
Bye, Gyarados.
I was surprised they haven't made a regional variant of Kangaskhan. That's a box. That's part fighting.
I never understood.
Okay,
Go on.
we do have the Mega Evolution where the baby grows up to be old enough to fight as well.
Seriously,
Yeah,
Lance,
but
if
more
you
like
not use
box.
your Dragonite?
Maybe, okay, this was the day he decided to take, battling advice from his cousin. It hasn't gone very well, as you can see.
I'm guessing you're not a fan of Claire.
Krasna is looking at
Oh.
this with shame.
Well, okay, I should elaborate. I like her in Masters. In the game she came from, she's an obnoxious brat.
Fair enough.
And there you go, that's Lance done. Just one more match.
Right.
Rival still blue.
Hold on to it, we'll get to it. Well, in here he's just called Rival.
Well, appearance-wise.
Oh, it's blue. Well, obviously.
Buddha.
There he is. He's using the original artwork in the original Gen 1 manual. There you go.
Hey, my name is Rival. Spell you later.
Well,
They wouldn't give me an official name until Gen 2.
indeed.
It's kind of stupid.
Let's call
You
him
know, it's
Gary.
it's kind of funny that they gave him a Charizard, given how Blue's iconic starter is actually supposed to be Blastoise.
It depends on the continuity because a lot of a lot of early promo art had red with Bulbasaur and blue with Charizard. Gen 1.
It's kind of ironic, given how, they're literally called Red and Blue, so you'd think Red would get the
Well,
Charizard
technically they're
and
called
Blue.
in Japan red and green, so well, it's supposed to be the opposite.
Bye, Charizard.
Yeah. Nowadays, the one who's called Green is an insane woman who kind of went crazy, if Let's Go Pikachu is anything to go by. It is. She literally wants to catch us in a Pokeball.
I know, I don't like that. It's trying to emulate her manga version and it doesn't work.
Wait. So she originally was insane?
Sure.
No, she was just a thief. Based off of what's the name of that female character from Lupin the Third?
Aha. You brought in an electric Pokemon, but you didn't expect me to bring my Rhydon with me, did you?
You literally sent that in.
Akhenaton wants to order a pizza delivery. Ring.
Well, that's embarrassing.
Alright, that's okay. I can do this all day. Oh my god, Swift! What shall I do? Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah, what Ted Lewis said.
Oh crud, it's no longer confused.
Bye,
This
Magneton.
may not be a climactic final battle.
It's a good thing his special abilities weren't invented yet.
There's a difference in the number of reserve Pokemon.
Indeed.
Like, I think Magneton has Levitate.
Yeah, he does.
Only saw them.
Oh, look at that! A reference to the anime.
3-1. The battle has become one-sided.
Not Dodrio. Whatever shall we do?
The attack wasn't
No, you were
effective.
going for Jova.
There you go. I didn't even have to bring up my Mewtwo.
Round 0.
Ah, no damn green.
It's a one-hit wonder. Congratulations.
Well, at this point, Philip Ballet was still voicing Mewtwo, if I remember correctly.
That's good, Ted. Now you can relax your throat.
I mean, hey, he's not voicing Giovanni in this game, so yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
Remember to an emulator, so sometimes you'll find some graphical glitches.
Well, sound good.
Congratulations.
Remember, I recorded this before the Nintendo even announced that they were going to put these games on the Switch, so...
Majestic. The team that won the
Yeah,
day.
yeah, like I said, Hajime Wakai's remixes of Gen 1 music is really good.
I do prefer some of the other.
Oh, and there's Pokemon present. So what do you get for completing the Gym Leader Castle in Pokemon Stadium?
Nothing.
Actually, you do.
Nope, actually, you do get something.
A giant Pokemon.
Ice Squirtle.
Magnificent, you just won Squirrel. Okay, so here's what happens. Every time, and you can do this as many times as you want, every time you beat the Gym Leader Castle, you can receive either a Bulbasaur, a Squirtle, a Charmander, an Hitmonlee, an Hitmonchan, or an Eevee. Basically, you know how you need to trade for some of those Pokemon to get them on your Pokédex? No longer, because thanks to Pokemon Stadium, you can just win as many of these as you want. So, and remember, again, so yeah, back in these days, if you wanted to get multiple Bulbasaurs and Charmanders and Squirrels and so on and so forth, this was a way for you to do it. Again, this is one of the coolest things about Pokemon Stadium for the time, where it allowed you to, again, like, do things with your red, blue, and yellow copies that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise.
Anyways, I was gonna say, there are remixes of older tracks I do prefer in future main games, but so far from what I've heard, I'm preferring a lot of these more than the remixes in the Fire Red Leaf Green.
Not a fan of the trumpets.
Okay, the trumpets and all the sound fonts work fine for Gen 3 Hoenn, not Gen 3 Kanto. I'm sorry, it's not. I much prefer later remixes of those. It's just a lot of times I think the sound font sounds even worse than the than in OG Gen 3.
Anyway. Alright, everybody, so there you go, everybody. Now you know how I completed the Pokédex with the help of this reward Pokemon Present feature back in the day. So, there you go. Alright, in the next part, everybody, now that we've checked out all the other stuff, let's get into the actual Stadium part of Stadium and taking out the super special hard tournaments that the game has in store. So, see you then.
Yeah.
Yeah.